Today I'm at a video production studio. This is a specialist building and therefore needs careful assessment because many of the surfaces are black and often the diffusion fronts and water damage are not easy to see on the ceilings and walls. We can see exactly how this water event happened, that there was a box gutter above us and that overflowed. That then caused this entire ceiling to collapse. Then the water came in and it flowed right through the top level and then into the studio and all of those other areas as well. One of the first problems with a building like this is that it is purpose-built and purpose-fitted out. So it is essentially black with these white walls. There are a lot of stains still on the ceiling and some of these are easy to identify because there is essentially white deposits. There are other areas of these acoustic panels that show a characteristic dark water staining or a diffusion band. This job was essentially over. However, the client was really concerned that there was all this staining on the underside of the ceiling, and he knew that this was, as a purpose-built facility, contained a lot of porous insulation. I've come back to this video production studio. I've got a copy of the report that I wrote, which contains all the lab findings, but it's a lot bigger than just this one room. It's really important that we go upstairs because this is the nerve center for this entire facility. When we arrive up here, we've got some immediate issues that are jumping out at me. The dividing wall between these two editing suites, the wall's been left in place. If you're going to take out plasterboard, remediate the framing timbers and the base plates, but you leave walls like this, you've only done half the job. The big issue with water damage and mold is how much water, what type of water, what got wet, how long did it stay wet, and would the wet surfaces support microbial growth? And when you can answer those questions, you have a really good chance of being able to properly remediate a building and return it to a normal mold ecology and a normal indoor air quality. Insurers often don't want to know this information because it impacts on the cost, but often the scope of works. And when people who perhaps are not as aware about the health implications of water damage and mold, the scope of works that the remediators or builders assess your property as requiring may not be well matched to the problem. And in my opinion, it's critical that if you've got any concerns at all, you collect your own data because then you have an evidence-based outcome for your project.